Hi everyone, my name is Chanel, and this is my first time doing a YouTube video, well, a YouTube video blog. I've been a huge fan of different video bloggers for a long time. I've been a huge fan of Jill Strath for like the last 4 or 5 years, and I'm not sure of this one girl's name, but her YouTube name is Bookends, and I've gotten a lot of books that I read, I get from, her book reviews, like, oh, that sounds really good. I need to read it for myself. But I'll put the links to their YouTube pages below so that you can go and see them for yourself. Um, this YouTube video, well, this YouTube page is going to be, for book reviews, and I'm going to do like different tags. I'll do like, movie reviews, just kind of like, whatever I'm feeling. But I think it's mostly going to be like for books because I'm a huge reader. I always have been ever since I was a little kid. Um, but this first book that I'm going to give a book review on is called Vanishing by Jodi Picoult. This is the first Jodi Picoult book I've ever read, but it was really good, and now there's a bunch more that I want to read. Definitely. And then I've seen a couple movies from that have been made from her books, like My Sister's Keeper. What's the other one? Plain Truth. That's a Lifetime movie. And I love those movies, and I didn't know that they were books at the time, but the movies were really good. So I can just imagine how great the books were. But the book is always better, obviously. Um, but without giving away too much information, because definitely don't want to give out spoilers. This book definitely sucked me in from the first chapter. At the end of the first chapter, I was like, oh man, I gotta find out what happens next. I read this book in like a little over a week, and I'm a full-time college student, so I spent a lot of time reading. This book is basically about this woman. She's early 30s. She's engaged, has a 4-year-old daughter. She lives in New Hampshire with her father. She's grown up there for as long as she can remember. But, she finds out at the end of the first chapter that she was kidnapped as a child. But, she wasn't taken by some stranger. Her father is her actual father. It was a custody kidnapping. And, kidnapping is a really serious thing. It's always made me sad, hearing about different kids that get kidnapped. Whether it's a stranger abduction or a family abduction, it's always really sad. And, the irony of this book is, she was kidnapped as a child, and she grew up to work in search and rescue, find missing people with her bloodhound. I kind of love that. But the book is kind of told from different points of view from the different people involved throughout the story. It's told from Delia's point of view, and it's told from her fiance's point of view, who's a lawyer and actually is representing her father at his trial. And it's told from her dad's point of view, and it's told from her mom's point of view at one point, and it's told from their family friend Fitz. He's a reporter. He's covering the whole thing. So it starts out in New Hampshire, which is where they all live, where they're all from. But then they all go out to Arizona, which is where Delia, the woman, and her father are originally from. And but she finds out at the end of the first chapter, because that's when her dad gets arrested for kidnapping, and they say you're under arrest for the kidnapping of Bethany Matthews. And, Delia's like, who's Bethany Matthews? And her dad just looks at her and says, you were. And that's when I was like, oh man, I gotta find out what else happens. So the whole book is, follows the trial, the witnesses, and she's constantly torn throughout the whole entire book. Was my father right? Was he wrong? She was trying to find her mother. She wants to meet her because she grew up believing that her mom was dead. And it's a really good book, though. I definitely recommend it. If you are definitely into kind of like suspense type stuff, or if you like to read um, court type books, because a huge chunk of this book is in court. But it's really good. I'm not gonna spoil. I'm not gonna say if her dad is found guilty or innocent. I'm definitely not gonna spoil that. But it's a really good book, and yeah, so love it. And I definitely have a few more Jodi Picoult books. I think I'm saying her name right, Jodi Picoult. I think Picoult's right. There's definitely a few more books now that I want to read. I want to read 19 Minutes. I want to read The Storyteller. I want to read The Pact. I'm still looking through all her books that she's written, but those ones are definitely at the top of my list. Yeah, and then the books that I'm currently reading now, it's a trilogy. I just started this yesterday. I'm only 2 chapters in. But this book is called Shattered Secrets by Karen Harper. It's a Cold Creek novel. The trilogy, it's a Cold Creek novel. And the second book is Forbidden Ground. And I don't have the third book with me right now. But the third book is called Broken Bonds. I got this trilogy for me, and my mom got to it before me. And so she's reading the third book. But she says it's really good. She read this book, the second one, in a day. She was sitting in her recliner, and she was hurriedly trying to finish the second book before she had to go to work, because she did not want to go to work and not know what happened in the end. So I definitely am excited, but so far even the first book's really good. And I'm only 2 chapters in. So when I'm finished with the trilogy, I'll do a YouTube review. And so that's it. I'll put links down below for you to find those other YouTube pages, and my Goodreads account. Comment, subscribe. I'm really excited. I've been wanting to do this for a long time, and I'm so excited that I finally am. And my dog Rascal is keeping me company. I'll show you a picture. I'll show you her. Rascal, look. She's my baby. She's 14, believe it or not. So yeah. But it's a beautiful day here in Pennsylvania. It's gorgeous, but it's not gonna bloom for some reason. So I'm gonna take her and my other little 4-legged critter on a walk. And comment, subscribe. Bye, and have a great rest of your Sunday.